asked us not to. They have lost their son in the most appalling circumstance. They make a simple plea of us as human beings to please not exploit that. That is their plea to us. And we all need to reflect on those words of Henry's father. My response, and the response of others, to be fair, has been focused on the lessons to be learned so we can deliver justice.
In the latest round of Prime Minister's questions, Nigel Farage stepped up and did what few others dare. He directly confronted the government over the tragic death of Henry Nowak and the growing public perception of two-tier policing in Britain. The chamber erupted. As soon as Farage mentioned the horrendous circumstances of Henry's death and urged Keir Starmer to address the clear disparity in how protests and public disorder are handled, Labour MPs started shouting and jeering. The outrage wasn't aimed at the tragedy itself. It was aimed at the man daring to name the elephant in the room.
Nigel Farage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Following the horrendous circumstances of Henry Nowak's death, can I urge the Prime Minister to consider this? It is now clear to growing millions in this country that we're living under two-tier policing. The instructions that are given to police officers from police bosses are clear and written down in ink. It says you must treat different ethnic groups in different ways. That, apart from the upset and the anger at the circumstances of his death, the anger that you saw spilling out in Southampton last night, and which is in danger,
condemn the violence,
which is in danger of getting considerably worse, because if the public lose trust,
condemn it.
If the public lose trust in being treated fairly by the police, can he take some action, end this divisive practice of two-tier policing, and make sure that all British citizens are treated the same?
Mr. Speaker, I don't believe there's two-tier policing in this country. I'm really shocked that he pretends to have respect for Henry's family and then acts in this way. They are a grieving family.
Mr. Blash, please, it's a very important question. I want to hear the Prime Minister. If you want to carry on, go outside, please, Prime Minister.
The grieving family have asked us not to respond in the way that the Leader of Reform has responded. They've asked us not to. They have lost their son in the most appalling circumstance. They make a simple plea of us as human beings to please not exploit that. That is their plea to us. And we all need to reflect on those words of Henry's father. My response, and the response of others, to be fair, has been focused on the lessons to be learned so we can deliver justice. His response has been to appeal for rage. Rage. That's his response to a father who's lost his son, and ask for that not to happen. Exploiting this tragedy to create grievance and division would be wrong in any circumstances, but to do it when the family are expressly saying, please don't, is unforgivable. It shows exactly who he is.
This moment captures something deeper than parliamentary theater. Henry Nowak's case has become a lightning rod. A young man lost his life in circumstances that many believe would have been handled very differently if the demographics or politics were reversed. While certain protest movements, from BLM to pro-Palestine encampments, were given relatively lenient treatment, others, particularly those expressing frustration over mass migration, grooming gangs, or rapid demographic change, face swift and heavy policing. Farage called it what millions now see: two-tier policing. Starmer's response was telling. He accused Farage of exploiting this tragedy to create grievance and division, even referencing the family's apparent wish not to politicize the death. Yet this feels like deflection. When does a government get to decide that a national conversation about equal treatment under the law is off limits, simply because it's politically inconvenient? The speed with which labor benches condemned Farage, and by extension, the protesters raising these issues, stands in stark contrast to their slower, more hesitant response to the murder itself and the policing failures that preceded it. As one commenter put it, they were quick to shout shame on you at Farage, but where was that same energy months earlier when it mattered most? This isn't just about one tragic case. It's about trust in institutions. When large sections of the public believe the police, the courts, and the government apply rules differently based on skin color, religion, or political alignment, social cohesion phrase. Farage is giving voice to that frustration, whether Westminster likes it or not. The jeering from the labor side revealed more than they intended. It showed discomfort with scrutiny. It showed a governing party that would rather shut down debate than address legitimate concerns about fairness. In a healthy democracy, a prime minister should be able to answer uncomfortable questions without his backbenchers descending into pantomime. Britain deserves policing that is blind to identity politics, tough, fair, and consistent. Until that standard is restored, moments like this in the Commons will keep happening. Farage may be polarizing, but the questions he's forcing into the open are only growing louder. The public is watching, and they're keeping score.